Welcome back. It's your wholesomely paternal family member, and today I'm going to go back on my word. Now, the purpose of this video is to do a beat cookup as usual, but to also share with you a new workflow that I've been trying out for the past couple weeks. Now, the reason that I say I'm going back on my word is because of one of the tools that I'm using within this workflow. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll see why I'm switching up. And we'll also come out with a really nice beat. So let's get cooking. So I love starting with the chord progression. What I'm doing here is using Playbox. I've turned off the effects. I'm using the vibraphone sample, and I'm using the chord set called Memories. Just like that, we have a chord progression. Now, real quick, the reason why I started trying this kind of workflow out is because I wanted to, one, be more efficient with my time, and two, avoid any sort of like beat block or lack of inspiration. And I think those two things go hand in hand. If I don't have a lot of time, but I want to create something, I can't be sitting here just completely uninspired. I'm trying to get some work done, right? So one thing about this workflow is it's going to be quick. It's going to be simple. We're not going to have to put too much thought into it. It's going to be more about vibes, but we're still going to end up coming out with something that I think is really cool every single time. Next, let's do some drums. I like to do the drums immediately after the chord progression. It just helps me start getting the vibe going. So I'm using a kit that I put together with drums that knock. Shout out Decap as usual. And I also threw knock on this kit. Shout out Decap. I think it sounds pretty good. So, I mean, there's not much to say about it. I'm about to put a couple patterns down. So I have my drums and I have my chord progression. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the 808s. And then we'll move on to the controversial part of this video. Let's see. So what I like to do for my 808s to avoid having to do a bunch of music theory stuff, I'll show you what I will do. So here's what I do to get my bass line for my 808s. I will look at Playbox, go to the chord section right here. I will look at the root note for each one of the chords that I'm using in this chord progression. And that's what I'll play on the pads for the 808s. So it takes a little bit of memory work. I'm going G sharp, E, F sharp, D sharp. The other way to do this is easier in some ways. You can drag and drop the MIDI of these chords. So you drag it, and then I switch groups, and I drag it and I put it on Sublab. I haven't really bothered to try and go and figure out like how to get it to stretch into the same rhythm. All these bass notes right here is what I need for this chord progression. So I'll take these out. And now I have a bass line. Check this out. That's the notes that I need, and at that point, it's just stretching them into the same rhythm that I had before, which I can go over here and look at. What rhythm did I use? I can literally just look at it and see what it is, and then I can spend some time stretching these out. So now I have my bass line of my 808s, and it perfectly matches the chord progression of this beat. So now it's the fun part, the controversial thing that I was talking about earlier. What is this tool that made me go back on my word and change my mind and switch up? You remember almost a year ago where I made a video about Output, specifically Arcade by Output? I ranted about Output for like 16 minutes, and I said that I probably wouldn't really use it very much myself. It wasn't for me. I kind of said some things, you know. I guess I was wrong. I've found a way to make arcade useful to me in this workflow that I've been trying out, and I just want to show you what I do with it, how I've come to make it useful, even though I said all those uh, neutrally chaotic things about it. If you've been watching my videos, you know I love vocal samples, and I love putting vocal chops on my beats. And this is how I do it with arcade. Instead of having to go and chop up my own stuff or using like downloaded a bunch of samples from a pack, I use one of the vocal lines. Hooked is what arcade is probably like known the best for, and it's for a good reason. They have a lot of really cool vocal sample hooks and stuff like that they put in here.
I just wanna take your time, ooh, right tonight, ooh.
And it sounds really good. I just set the key to G sharp minor because that's what key Playbox initially started with, and then I just play around with the samples in it.
Ooh, I just wanna, I just wanna take your time, I should've known I don't wanna be without you.
Something like that, and I'll either like make a cool video of me just doing that, or I'll record it and it'll start becoming like a whole beat. Check this out.
I should've known. I just wanna take your time. I just wanna be with you tonight.
So I used the vocal chops and I played some patterns here, and I got a pretty cool hook that will go on this beat. And other than that, it's just what I normally do. Add some more sections of me, you know, improvising and embellishing this beat, adding some Foley and whatnot, and that's it. But really, what it came down to was arcade really did bring this together. It gave me an option to take my beat to a different place. All it took was Playbox, 4-chord progression, really quick. Some drums, which everybody has drums. Do your thing. You can add a drum loop on here if you want to be quicker. Some 808s. And then arcade for the vocal chop, which really sauced it up. And now I can add the melody if I want. I'm gonna add the melody just real quick.
I should've known. I just wanna take your time. I just wanna be with you tonight.
Look, the beat's done. I have timed some of this and add maybe a different drum pattern. I have 3 drum patterns, and I'm good. I can add more vocal chop stuff if I want to, different melody type stuff. But the meat of the beat is done. And yeah, pretty solid workflow. So if you are a producer that is either new to it, or you have a certain lack of inspiration sometimes, or if you have beat block, or if you are just taking too long and you're not being efficient with making your beats, give this workflow a shot, man. If you have access to Playbox and or arcade, try this out. It helps. It's been helping me a lot for the past couple weeks. So definitely, by all means, give this a shot. Make yourself some really cool beats. If you end up using this workflow, let me know about it. I want to see what you made with it. Make a little video or something, and I'll check it out. If you enjoyed this video, definitely consider subscribing. Yesterday I hit 500 subscribers, and I'm so grateful that I have a chance to be able to share this thing that I love with anybody, really. I'm just touched to know that I can provide any sort of value, whether it be tips and tricks with music production and workflow, or even just entertainment, or even inspiration. So thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.